right now, people are just scared. You're just starting off building a game. How do you get your audience? Not just for Web3, but also for Web2 game developers. Indie.Fun is our Kickstarter for games. We allow game developers to fundraise for their games by launching a token. It's an amazing marketing tool and a community building tool. And it gets people engaged and excited about whatever it is that you're building. And we want to help those people to fundraise to be able to continue making their dream come alive. But from the very beginning, it wasn't even a question. We were building on Solana.
We're live here at the Solana Creator House, and I have another special guest, someone that's actually revolutionizing the way that games are being built. Games are working, thinking inside of developers' heads, understanding what the issues are in game development. I was like, oh my God, if I'm coming to San Francisco, I need her to be on the show. I need to talk to her. She needs to tell me the alpha. This is purely alpha. This is the only way that this will get released is if you tell me the alpha. So I brought in Linda. Linda, give us the 30-second. Who are you? What did you do prior to Web3 before we give you the Web3 intro?
Ooh, all right. So I am currently the COO, one of the co-founders of Madio. Prior to this, I started my career in finance, used to work in venture capital. I spent the last 10 years in startups, Web2. And then in January 2022, I entered Madio, where we had some funding from Web3, and we've been in DGens ever since.
I love, first, I always say this. I'm a big fan of people that understand finance. I'm a big fan of people that understand business. Because for me in Web3, there's always a lack sometimes of understanding that in year one, you have to pay the light bill still. And in year 5, you still have to pay that light bill. Yep. So that means you have to make money. And how do you make money? Well, the business that you're trying to start up has to be revenue focused. And again, coming from the venture capital, you will have asked a million times, hey, what do your financials look like? What does your business plan look like? What does the roadmap look like? Something in Web3 that, let's build a pretty pitch deck. And let me tell you how this token's going to get released. And if you buy in today, in 18 months, your token will be vested and you're now also part of the problem in the ecosystem. So I think it's really, really cool to hear your background. I think it's awesome that you're building with us. That means more confidence in Web3 gaming.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know if you've seen the timelines. They're saying Web3 gaming is that. It's all over my timelines. And I'm just like, what is that about it? Because I'm here in San Francisco interviewing founders, interviewing you, you're telling me you're building, you guys are having success. What is this crazy sentiment that's happening right now in the Web3 space?
Yeah, I think Web3 gaming has gone through cycles, as we all know. And then right now, people are just scared. You know, they've started playing some games. A couple of years ago, there was this huge, huge spike, right? Everyone wanted games. And then as you have to do as a developer, you have to make the game. And so then people got impatient. They think that games can be made in 3 months, instead of years and years.
So they can't be?
Yeah. I mean, now it might be with AI, but and so because of that, people got scared. And then we started seeing some of those games come out, and some of them were good, amazing. And then some were not so great. And so I think people are just scared. And then obviously with everything that's happening in the market right now, people are even more scared. So
can you confirm that Web3 gaming is not dead?
Web3 gaming's here. It's a super cycle. Come on.
If you're watching, if you're seeing this, if you're hearing this, you need to do something. She's basically telling you, go unfollow anybody that's saying Web3 gaming is dead. Go follow her. Right. Turn your notifications on for her. Turn on your notifications for whatever she's building, because Web3 gaming is not dead and it's very much alive.
Very much alive.
Linda, tell me, 2025, San Francisco, GDC, what is it this week that you're looking to accomplish? What are you looking to meet? Is there something in specific that you're here for that you were like, that's why I'm coming to GDC?
I mean, GDC is where all the game developers come, right? It's where you learn about all the new technology. And I think last year, GDC barely allowed Web3 if they did at all. So the fact that GDC is now allowing Web3, if not even like embracing it to an extent, is amazing, right? Like, we're on the game developer side. Game devs hate crypto. They've always hated crypto. We all know that. And to kind of see a little bit of that embrace happening, like, that is a huge, huge change. So that's been really exciting for us to see. And also when we talk to game devs, just being a little bit less scared to throw out that crypto word, right? That's been really cool to see. But yeah, overall, I mean, we see all the crypto folks out here. We're seeing the game devs out here. We're seeing what people are building. We're seeing there's some amazing games being built now. Like, if you told me 3 years ago that we were going to see MMOs, shooters, I would have been like, yeah, that's going to come in like 5 years from now. The fact that it's already here, that's amazing.
I always said when I came into this space, I said, you know what, this is going to be 10 or 15 years. It's an emerging market, blah, 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 blah. And then I got into it, and crypto, 1 year in crypto is like 10 years in crypto. And apparently that means 10 years that accelerated, because by the end of the year, they're like, yeah, crypto gaming is dead. It's not working. And I'm just like, we haven't in Web3 yet even published a fully released game, or have had a dozen or half a dozen, right? Now, I am bullish on 2025. I do believe that this year we will have about 4 or 5 titles that are AAA that have been building for the past 3-4 years that will fully release. And I am bullish on that because I do believe that the Web2 game developers, publishers, PlayStation, Xbox, they very much have the R&D trying to figure out what is happening in this space. Yeah. They just don't know because there's nothing to show for it yet. And I believe that if we are in a pivotal year, that this is the pivotal year that we could be like, hey, maybe you need the marketplace. Maybe you need to reward players. This is a great payment rail to reward pay. There's NFTs, digital collectibles, whatever you want to call them, skins, badges, whatever it is. There are many ways to enhance the experience of a gamer. And I think it's a very, very bullish year. You're meeting with all these game developers. Tell me the 30-second pitch that you tell them on what Mario is.
Yeah. So Mario, I mean, at the end of the day, we're a game engine that focuses on multiplayer browser games. We recently launched Indie.Fun. Indie.Fun is our Kickstarter for games. We allow game developers to fundraise for their games by launching a token. And if I can go a little bit longer than 30 seconds here, what's really interesting is no one is really helping these indie game devs. And so we're filling a need in the market, not just for Web3, but also for Web2 game developers. And that's really, really exciting for them.
I don't know if you've ever heard this. I don't know if this is the first time, but you might need to record this. Not all superheroes wear capes. Here you go. She's here to help indie games. Oh my God. If you're a dev building, you need to head over to Indie.Fun. So Indie.Fun, I'm thinking pump fund immediately. It's probably what everybody thinks when they hear this. Is there anything that you're grabbing from the pump fund model that inspired to build Indie.Fun?
Yeah, I mean, I think what Pump.Fun taught us with tokens is it's an amazing marketing tool and a community building tool. And it gets people engaged and excited about whatever it is that you're building. Well, we happen to be trying to help games. So it's been really helpful for games. But what Pump.Fun is missing, in my opinion, is we're helping actual projects, not just, those meme coins out there that maybe are just, let's say pure speculation, right? These guys have actual projects, actual products that they're building. And we want to help those people to fundraise to be able to continue making their dream come alive. And that's really our focus. And so those tokens then not only allow them to fundraise and they get that revenue, but they also have this incredibly engaged community, which when you're just starting off building a game, how do you get your audience? Everyone's trying to figure out, what's customer acquisition, all these costs, how do I get distribution? You can use a token for that. And that's really one of the tools that we provide with Indie.Fun.
I need to do a quick shill because you set me up for it. We have the Stay Liquid cups. This is the official cup of the Creator House. Because not only do you need to stay liquid in the market, you need to stay liquid in real life. But you're literally making indie games stay liquid in real life. Yeah. So I think maybe if you need to adopt a icon or whatever, a badge, here it is. It's the Creator House of 2025, sponsored by Solana. Yeah. I love that what you're building. I love how you guys are seeing through. What are the obstacles that really Indie.Fun or even game developers are not knowing going into building a game? What are those that for you you're here trying to solve? But I think it is tough, right? Because tokens could be a great way, like you said, to market. But what is a great way to release a token? How many tokens? Yeah. What is the valuation? What are all these finance terms that sometimes the game developers well, ChatGPT, can you tell me? And you're just like, yeah. So the guidance, maybe the advisory, the ways to make sure that you are successful are very much still a part that in the space has been missing. How do you see the obstacles to overcome some of these things? Yeah,
I mean, first of all, just to start off, for game devs, especially the indie game devs that we are helping, on the AAA studio side, you need tens of millions of dollars just to build a game. And then you're going to spend years and years building it and disappear. And then, you might come back with a game and it may or may not be successful. With us, we're just trying to help the little guys. All they need is $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. That is a life-changing amount of money for an indie game dev, right? Like that's all they need to finish their game. And so, even just that small amount can get them to finish their game and they can release it. And then the great thing is because there's a token, there's ongoing revenue that comes with having a token. You can then continue making changes. You can actually get player feedback because you have those users that are already playing the game, and you can get that player feedback as soon as you launch an alpha version or whatever, and you can iterate on it. And so there's all these tools that a token brings to the table that a starting indie game dev on their own, or even a small team, might need. Now, obviously with game devs, many of them are very good at building, not so good at marketing, right? So that is...
I know marketing, just so you know, in case, let me plug that in as well.
Send them your way. But yeah, with these game devs, they need help with marketing. They need help with understanding that. And so on our side, one of the things that we are really working hard on, and we have some great team members doing this, is helping these game devs understand just how do I talk about my game? How do I get people excited? How do I also show them what my game is going to be, the potential of it and what I want it to be, and not just, the blocky alpha version that isn't quite finished yet right now.
So you're saying Web3 language is not sexy? Like technology is not sexy to a gamer?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit hard for gamers to understand. And, that's why we have trailers. That's why we have these cool things. And that's something that we've been helping to educate these game devs on. How do you market your game? And that's something that, they've really valued, I think, coming from us.
Now we got to ask this question. It's $1 million question. What chain do you build on when you are building something like this? Because to me, man, there needs to be some sort of speed. There needs to be some sort of low cost chain that you must be working on or looking at. Why do you choose your chain and how do you choose your chain is a great question.
Yeah. From the very beginning, it wasn't even a question. We were building on Solana. Number one, we've known them for years. They've been incredibly supportive of everything we've done. We're so, so grateful for their team. And in general, they've been so supportive of gaming. And that's just been a breath of fresh air, right, for us and the projects that we work with. But yeah, of course, on the technology side, the transparency, the speed, that is so, so important for games. Any latency, any lag, gamers notice it. And so that is at the forefront of anything we build, like whether it's the game engine, whether it's transactions, it's all something that we think about. So even just a 0.01 millisecond, that can make a difference. And so for us, it wasn't even a question, it had to be Solana.
Oh, that's great to hear. I think that I'm even more bullish now. Okay. 2025, talking about Indie.Fun. What are we expecting in 2025? Is there something that you guys are really working forward to that, hey, might be alpha, so it's okay to share alpha.
Yeah.
That's, it's not recorded and maybe we delay it. But love to understand, what is that on your roadmap that you guys are really excited for, that you guys are building to?
Yeah. Obviously, like I said, right now, for any game devs out there, I'm sure they've realized it's really hard to fundraise from traditional investors right now. And we've heard so many of these game devs coming to us saying like, oh man, I can't get traditional investors. They don't understand what I'm doing and all these things. So for us to be able to fill that gap in the market has been incredibly, just incredible for us. And again, it's not just Web3, it's also Web2, which is also really cool to see Web2 game devs coming to crypto. And it's because, they understand, their biggest need is they need money, they need funding, right? And so now that we give them a token, they start learning like, okay, what is a token? How do I use it? And they're excited now. And so that's also a huge transformation. Give game devs what they actually want. They want money. They need money, right? And so we're giving them that. And so that's been really cool to see Web2 game devs coming to Web3. And when we look forward, gaming super cycles here. Like I said, we're going to see these games coming out. We're going to see more and more of these game devs coming over. We're seeing more talent coming over. We're seeing more excitement around Web3. That to me is what 2025 is about. It's about that growth. It's about seeing these games that we've been talking about for years and years coming out. It's seeing these gamers playing these games. I'm so bullish. I think this year's going to be amazing.
What is the one of that this week that you have circled on the calendar that if you get stuck in traffic, you're literally getting out of the car and you're running to this because you cannot miss it?
Oh man, I've been to events all week.
Well, which one was it that? Maybe is there a highlight already?
I mean, there's been a couple cool events. There was like a Reddit event earlier this week. Man, there's a couple. I'm just having some dinners, but like, I think just across the board, it's like I said, I came here last year and I didn't really see Web3 events. This year, seeing all the Web3 events has been just, it's really changed my mind about how gaming is being accepting of Web3. So
I'm really glad you said that because I want to segue into this next conversation of what does 2025 look like for you now that you see this? Do you go to Gamescom, Tokyo Game Show, Token 2049? Do you start doing more Web2 game conferences or Web3 game conferences or both? Do you see that you need to travel more now and be able to have these conversations with others? Go attend these events, see what the struggle is even more, and figure out how you could solve it through Indie.Fun.
yeah. I mean, last year went to a couple of the Web3 events, and I mainly only went to GDC. And then this year, I mean, it's a mix. I definitely want to go to a couple more of those conferences. I think, man, I was talking to someone today, and it's interesting, right? We're seeing Unity on Unreal, who spent a ton of money last year at GDC getting booths. They're not here this year, right? There's been a transformation. It's all AI now. And so it's been interesting to see that transformation. And when I talk to Web2 platforms, technologies, whatever, they say the alpha is AI and crypto. Like that's been very interesting to hear. So we'll see. I think that this year's going to be big for.
I have to go make a couple transactions on my trading app real quick. No, that is great to hear because I think a lot of founders are figuring out whether they travel a lot this year or not. And I think that there is a lot of cutting edge technology right now at the forefront. And AI is definitely at one that, is still a very tricky question because what does AI really mean, right? I mean, a lot of people will say AI and think ChatGPT. A lot of people will think AI and they could look at, some of the stuff that's been already incorporated in their lives. And so for us and for me, I'm like, okay, where does really AI come to be more mainstream or understandable to the human, right? Because a lot of people are still very much afraid of the robot or the Tesla robot that Elon makes, right? Because you hear AI and they're like, oh, is that a robot? And it's like, no, it's not. Where do you see AI really kind of being more mainstream than it already probably is, but in the sense that, games can now be, or even the game experience, right, could even be elevated to an extent that the everyday user could use it?
Yeah. I mean, man, everyone just slaps AI on their name and just like calls it that. But there are actual use cases for it. And I actually think gaming is one of those ecosystems where AI really can flourish. And so on our side, we really see it in two ways. On one side is the creator side. We have actually, it's not shown yet, but we might have a demo out there soon where you can actually create a game by talking to an AI agent. So you say, hey, I want to make a capture the flag game. And it'll actually make a capture the flag game. You can start talking to essentially a chatbot, right? And say, hey, I want to change this player type. I want to change this and change that. And it codes it all for you. Wow. So that game creation side is just lowering the barriers. And I mean, we've seen this all with vibe coding and all that stuff. So this part is pretty straightforward. And we see that being a huge opportunity. What we also see is within the game itself, having NPCs that can think for themselves, that can react to humans based on what you actually say. So using LLMs, in other words, right? And so being able to have them give out quests, being able to have them react. We actually have, for our game Pow Pow, which uses our token bounty, it actually allows, we actually showed a demo where we had a murder mystery game where AI agents were killing each other in the game. Players were also part of the game. And you would actually see the AI agents accusing each other of being the murderer and defending themselves from being the murderer. So that is just one example of what we've been able to do with AI in terms of the language side of things. We also have movement. We have agents that can actually be trained by human players and move like actual human players. So we have our own AI platform, fullmetal.ai, which allows users to deploy swarms of AI agents into games instantly. They have their own wallets, they have their own tokens, and then they can actually play the game. So they actually move like players and they can respond like players. And so now you're starting to see a little bit blurring the lines here where players might not even have to play the games themselves. They might actually just deploy AI agents to play it for them.
Oh, man. I don't even know how to unpack that. Players don't even have to play the game. I mean, a lot of my team is afraid to play me in any of the games just because I'm such a great gamer. So maybe they'll look to this. Look, we talked a little bit about what you guys are building, the upcoming year, conferences. Outside of all the conferences, outside of the world, Linda, what's something that you are here for in San Francisco? It's the Golden Gate Bridge, In-N-Out Burger, pizza. You mentioned dinner. Just so you know, you have to invite me to dinner or else this video won't get released. What are the spots that you're going to while you're here in San Francisco?
Oh, man. I used to live here, so I have a little bit of alpha on that. But there's some great pizza places here. Tony's is a great pizzeria place. I love pizza.
Went there the first day that I got here.
Okay. All right. You already know about that.
Okay. Well, give me the second one because I might do that tonight.
Do you like dim sum? I mean, that's not for tonight.
Okay.
But Jade Dragon or something is a great place to go. Dragon Bow is another place to go for dim sum. Okay. But yeah, in general, I mean, if you're in San Francisco, you have to check out the tourist spots. The sun happens to be out, which is rare right now in March. So enjoy the sun. There's some great parks and everything. Enjoy the tourist things. But I mean, I really think, everyone says San Francisco is dead. It's not dead when you walk around. Yeah, it's definitely very alive. So yeah, just enjoy the San Francisco.
Linda, tell us, where do we need to follow you? Where do we need to be able to get inside of what you're building? Tell us where the links are, how to follow you on Twitter, how do we, even your personal Twitter, how do we get involved?
Yeah. So Twitter, follow us on Indie.Fun. That's all letters, no periods. Indie.Fun. That is our Twitter. We talk about everything we're building there. We also have another Twitter. We talk about our token bounty, which is our AI platform, Pow Fun. Otherwise my own Twitter is L4YUAN. And I sometimes talk about things, but I'm not super on Twitter. Yeah.
I love it. I appreciate you coming down. I can't believe what you're building. I'm so right now that I need to go probably learn more so that next time I'm more educated and more into this. But I think I'm excited because these are the type of cutting edge things that are needed very much. And it's a need, right? I love that it's not something that it's oh yeah, I thought of this idea, but it's not solving the problem. You're solving a problem. And I think that's the most important thing. In order for this space to grow, we have to figure out how to get funding correctly, how to make sure we work. Because I've talked to a million game devs and sometimes they're like, oh, Jorge, I just know how to build the game and that's it. Put me in there. And truthfully, yeah. And then they need other people to surround themselves with. But what's better than being able to work with professionals that are literally curated to help you and establish yourself and be able to see you grow. So congrats to you. Thank you for choosing Solana as well.
Yeah.
Another episode of the Solana Creator House with Linda. Make sure you follow her. I mean, did you hear all the alpha? I don't know what else is holding you back from not following them. Get in touch with them. If you know any projects that need funding, definitely getting in touch with them. If you're looking to start a game, definitely get in touch with them. If you just need to learn more about indie devs, get in touch with them, all right? That's simple. Just get in touch with them. That's another episode. Thank you for tuning in. And until the next one, maybe we'll be another part of the world and maybe we'll get to sit down again. Have a good one.